body is done, we can leave this aside and let's go to the arms. And so for our arms, we are going to do a magic ring again. So I skipped through the looping part, and we're just going to start with the magic ring like this. Okay, I usually like to take my magic ring out, but you don't have to. So we're going to do 6 single crochets, inserting our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Single crochet is done. We're going to tighten our string and insert our hook back into our first stitch to slip stitch and chain. We always do a chain after a slip stitch. So we are going to do, so rows 2 to 4 is just going to be 6 single crochets, basically. So 1, take our signaling pin, oops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Single crochets done. We're going to slip stitch and a chain. Row 2 done, onto row 3. 1, getting our signaling pin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and slip stitch on our first stitch, and then chain. Row 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to slip stitch. Maybe do 2 more rows. This looks a bit short. Do 2 more rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So row 5 and then row 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a slip stitch. Okay, now it should look something like this, our hand. And we are going to stuff this loose string inside. Push it inside. Okay. Now we're just gonna fold it in half like this. And then do 3 single crochets. You see how these 2 you can loop straight through, aligning the stitches. So we're just going to do 3 single crochets, 2 and 3. So that's our arm. It should look something like this, and we're going to repeat this one more time so we have 2 arms. And we can just cut off and then leave an extra bit to stitch. Okay, our second arm is done. Now let's move on to the legs. Start with the magic ring again. We're just gonna loop around our middle finger. Okay. Gonna insert our hook, yarn over and pull out, yarn over and pull out. That is our magic ring. We are going to do 6 single crochets. So 1, let's grab a signaling pin. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna pull on a string as usual. I'm gonna insert our hook into our first stitch, which my signaling pin fell, but yes, slip stitch into our very first stitch, pull out, and then chain. That is slip stitch done. We are going to do 6 single crochet increase. We're going to do 6 single crochet increase. After this, we're going to do 6 single crochet increase. So single crochet increase is basically 2 single crochets in a hole, 1 in the same hole, 2, that is 1 single crochet increase complete. We're going to do this 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then slip stitch and chain. Now, after our 6 single crochet increases done, we are going to be doing our next row. So the next row, we are going to do 12 single crochets in the outer half of the stitch. So 1, outer half of the stitch, 2, outer half of the stitch, 3, so it should start looking like something like this. And don't forget your signaling pin. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're going to slip stitch and then chain. Should look something like this. And then after that, we're just going to do normal 12 single crochets. So inserting everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to slip stitch, and then another chain, and then we can pull off, making sure we leave enough strings for sewing later, and then pulling out. We're gonna repeat this step 2 times. We have 2 of the feet. We're gonna add some stuffing inside because I like to. It's nice when it's puffy. Now, onto the sewing part. We love sewing. We're going to start with the hands first. I'm gonna grab one hand. I'll push the others to the side. We're gonna grab a hand. We're going to put the string through the needle. Okay, now let's find where our front is. So you see there's this really ugly line here. That is the back. Our front should be somewhere here. We are going to put align our hand or the arm, and then we're going to stitch together at the edge. Just like how you usually stitch some clothes together, maybe. Just stitch it together. You're making it look nice. Making it stable. And then if you don't really like this part popping out, you can also stitch it towards the middle of the hand as well, so that it stays there. See, so that this part just stays and doesn't pop up all the time. Okay. Stitching part is really random, in my opinion. So after this part is done, we can just take it off. And then I'm just gonna hide the string inside. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody is gonna know. We're just gonna hide it inside. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the other hand. Grabbing our other hand, looping it through. Okay. Then finding this part here, and we're going to stitch together. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna loop it backwards like this. Should look something like this. I like my middle to stay in spot, so I'm just gonna go down a bit with my string. Okay. Okay, and then I'm just gonna hide the string inside again. Done. This is our arm complete. And then our legs, we do the same thing. You can have it at the bottom so that it's standing like this, or you can have it at in front of the belly, so it's like a sitting miffy. I like mine standing, so I'm just gonna stitch mine together like this. Or should I make mine sitting? Okay, for this one I'll make it as the sitting miffy. So this part, the legs, you can use hot glue gun. It's way easier and more efficient. But just for the tutorial wise, we're just gonna stitch it together. I want mine to be sitting, this time, since I already have one that's standing. So let's see, find the best spot. There's not really a right or a wrong, you just need to figure out which part looks the nicest. Okay, I like it here. So all you need to do is just insert the hook, poke it inside, pulling it out, inserting the hook inside, pulling it out. Okay, just inserting a hook and pulling it out. Inserting a hook and pulling it out. Okay. Inserting a hook and pulling it out. 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 And just do it all the way. It's looking like this, looking pretty good. It's like stitching two pieces of fabric together. So it should be quite easy to do. And our last little bit. Okay, grab our last little bit. Oh, nice. This is how our legs are looking like. And we're just gonna insert our hook back into the middle. We're just gonna hide the string a bit. Randomly. And then we can cut it off. And just push the end inside. It won't fall loose, don't worry. And then we're just gonna stitch the next one together. And we're just gonna, again, stitching it together. Just make sure they're like even, one is not slanted, otherwise it's gonna look a bit wonky, but it should be fine. You just gotta do a few stitches, have a look if it's in the right place, and adjust it. Let's stitch it, and then we're gonna hide our string once again at the end. And, oh my, this is so hard to pull out. I'm pulling it out. And we're gonna cut it off. And we're gonna push this towards the inside. And it's looking like this. Now it's time to add our miffy head on top as well. Okay, this part looks a bit weird. I think the standing one looks better. I don't know. What do you guys think? The standing one looks better. Oh. Yeah, the standing one definitely looks better. So now we're just gonna stitch the head together. Literally the same thing as how we stitched the legs. Okay. Our head. Making sure it's not gonna be wonky as well. Where is the start? Okay, so we're just gonna start stitching it together. Okay, like this. Oops. Just gonna stitch it in. Do it this way, up. And of course, there's a reason why I don't like stitching things together. Because they can either go really good or really bad. Looks a bit abusive. We're just gonna stitch it together slowly but surely. This process takes patience, requires patience, and I don't have patience. Okay. Just gonna hide the string a bit. I think it'll look better when I have a scarf on it. Push it in. Now the miffy is looking like this right now. Now our miffy is done. You can either leave it like this and hang it on your bag, or make a scarf or a headphone or like a bag. I'll teach you guys how to make the scarf and the bag here. So this time I want to make a red scarf. We are going to do a knot like this. And we are going to do 20 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think this should be long enough. You could have a look. Yeah, it looks long enough. Yeah, that's 6. Okay, last minute decisions. We have 25 chains in total. Yes. And we're going to do double crochets. So we're gonna go back by 2. 1, 2. So we're gonna loop over first on our hook. We're gonna insert into half of the chain of the stitch, and we're gonna loop out. We should have 3 loops on our crochet hook. We're gonna yarn over, loop through the first 2, yarn over, loop through the next, and we're gonna do this all the way to the very last stitch at the bottom. So we're gonna make a loop on our hook first, inserting our hook into half of the stitch, yarning over and pulling out, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. Loop first, inserting in our hook, yarn over and pull out, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. I'm just gonna repeat this our last one. Okay, our last one is done. We're just gonna do a chain and then cut off. Our scarf is done. Now we just need to hide our strings. Randomly hiding it. And we're just gonna cut off. Do the same with the other side. Just gonna randomly hide it. Then grab our miffy. We can, I'm gonna wear my scarf like this. Okay, a bit too short. Looking a bit short, so our scarf is going to look something like. So if you want your scarf to be longer, you can extend it to 30. If you want your scarf to be a bit longer, you can extend it to 35 chains. But I like this. This looks nice. And then let's make a little handbag for him. I am going to use any color. Let's use black. Oh no, you can't really see when I'm using black. I'm gonna use I guess this pink. We are going to start off with a ring, a magic ring with 6 single crochets, so a magic ring. Then 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're gonna pull the string. Gonna slip stitch at the very first crochet stitch and then a chain. We're going to do 6 single crochet increase, so 2 single crochets in 1 hole. So that is 1 single crochet complete, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to slip stitch on our first one and a chain. Now we're going to do 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now that 12 is done, we're going to slip stitch on our first single crochet, and now I can now this one is done, we're going to do 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase. We're going to repeat this pattern all the way around. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase. Oh. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase, and 1 single crochet, and then last 1 single crochet increase, and then slip stitch at the very end and chain. Now we should have something like this. We can fold it in half, but I'm just gonna do another 30 chain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We have 30 chains. And I will be inserting my hook. Actually, no. Once you have 30 chains, we are going to pull out and cut off. We can cut the string a bit shorter here, and then we can stuff it inside the bag. And we're going to grab our needle. We're gonna go to the opposite side and slip stitch. Not slip stitch, but just hide our strings, connect it so that it looks like a bag, and hide our string. Okay, I want to hide my string a bit more since it's the strap of the bag. Okay, and then we're gonna cut off. And our bag is done. We can add it to our miffy. We're just gonna have to loop it through. And then, ta-da, the bag is done. This completed one. It looks so cute as well. Oh my god, the pink one is so cute. And then this is the blue one that I've made. This one's sitting, this one's standing. And then for me, because sometimes I like miffy to be plain, so I don't really like the accessories, I can just take it out and then hang it on my bag like this, or I want the accessory, I can just put it back in. But if you want the accessory to stay, you might as well hot glue gun it. You might as well use some hot glue gun and glue it. But for me, I like to change my accessories a little. So I don't like to hot glue it together. But this looks so cute. This is the standing one, and this is the sitting one. It looks, I don't know, but this reminds me of Fireboy and Water Girl. Okay. I hope you guys like my video, and if you like it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.